recruiting the way it is now, a year-round, high-profile thing. I mean, do you ever find yourself, and I guess the whole staff having to talk guys down kind of when they come here after they hear about themselves for like 3 years?
Oh yeah, that's universal. We call it de-recruiting them. So we have to de-recruit the players once they get here, and everyone does, because for so long it's just about them. It's I, me, and it is a selfish decision that they have to make, because essentially they make the best decision for them and their families. But that's the only thing that's selfish about it. Now it's incumbent upon us to make them good teammates, and some are more challenging than others, but we get it done. So we have to de-recruit those boys. And they kind of laugh too when we say, we're not recruiting you anymore, no.
So have they all been de-recruited now?
It's a work in progress, I'm telling you. But they get the point. I mean, when they step on the field, get hit in the mouth the first time, they know it's for real, man. So we just have to get them to practice, and then the de-recruiting kind of takes effect at practice. Yeah, I'm sure you can talk to a couple of freshmen and find out the ones that have been de-recruited the most. Some of those who are pretty flashy on signing day, like, okay, he hears it all the time. Nick who? He hears it all all the time. So.
There's some clear separation between that first group and the second group. Are there really some guys that are right on the cusp of being able to get in there?
I think there was there was enough separation that we didn't have to flip a coin for it. I mean, the 5 guys that earned those jobs earned them. I'll say that first. The 5 guys that are starting clearly deserve to be our 5 starters right now. Now, I've told them all that doesn't mean that it couldn't change at some point, because I've been in a lot of seasons where the guy's not performing well and another guy, particularly maybe a young guy, is coming on and ends up beating a guy out and playing, starting game 4 or game 5 or something like that. So that could still happen, but at this point I feel very confident that we got the right 5 on the field. Are there 2 or 3 other guys that are close enough that I'd feel okay about them in a game and are still making progress? Yeah.
Jeff, you talk about what kind of pushed Reese over the top and what Blake probably.
What pushed Reese over the top? A couple things. One, he's just, even though he hasn't been with us that long, he's a really smart, confident kid. I feel like I can trust him and rely on him in a big way. I mean, he's, even as a true freshman, even back in the spring, a lot of times when I'm doing discussion type meetings, he's one of the first guys to answer questions. I mean, he just gets it really fast, and he's really smart. And obviously that's important in that position. He's not afraid to communicate. The other thing is, for a young guy, he's got good functional strength. Now, he'll obviously get stronger in his next years here in the weight room, but for a young guy, he's got good functional strength. He's a great athlete for a kid his size, and I think he's exactly what we thought he was when we recruited him. As far as
Trevor, you talked about D'Angelo. You said one of the things that kept him playing last year was he was behind Auburn, and now he's behind Emory. So is just kind of what will his role be? Will he play a lot, or?
Yeah, he will. And the reason why is because that position, that's where a lot of the balls go. So you want to get it to the best 2 that you got, and nobody's going to play 8 snaps. But the good thing about both of those guys is you'll look up and both of them will be on the field at the same time, and that's going to be good for us, because now you can't match up and say, I'm going to take this one out or do that. So I've been proud of him. First of all, he stayed healthy so far. I know it's still early, but he's been healthy, and the kid hasn't missed the practice at all. That's been good to see. And he's had several things through camp. I mean, at the beginning of camp, he had pink eye, and I don't know if you ever had it, but you definitely don't want to practice football. He didn't miss a single snap, and that let me know that his toughness is there, and then the want to. And he's answering questions like a quarterback now, where before he only knew what he had. But now he's answering questions across the board, on plays that we're going to run and when we're going to run them. So it just gives you that confidence as a coach and obviously as a play caller to get him the ball and to give him an opportunity.
A lot of your guys.
He said that he was basically just playing the 9, but Emory was playing some others. Is that kind of Is that, he stayed pretty much in that position and Emery moved
Because
around?
the numbers, his position stays the same, but where he lines up in the formation is different. So that changed just a little bit. But, you know, for him, because of where he's at, the mismatches that you can create by moving him to different spots make a big difference. And that gives him an advantage that we're hoping that we'll be able to take advantage of during the game. But if you watch the kid practice, this kid sprints on and off the field. And it sent a message to the rest of them, and it started out just them, and now everybody sprints out there now. And, you know, it just became contagious, and that's what I like about him, you know. He's been down a long road, like I said, he's as old as I am, but, you know, he still goes out there and works hard every day, don't make any excuses.